Boom. We are live. How you doing, Max? I'm Conor Mac. That's Maxwell Smart Baby. We are a Pub Sports Radio live, baby, live. NCAA net profit. Yesterday, a little bit of a roller coaster for you, Max. I know you killed it at the end of the night. I was chatting with you in the back. Late night special. That West Coast action. You're starting to love it. Love it, baby. But a new day. Shoot me with how the day went real quick. I'll touch on your games. We'll touch on mine, and we'll kind of run through the scores, and then we'll get to today.
Well, for Connor, for what people care about when they come to this show, they care about what picks I give out on the show. And when I give out bad picks that lose, that I don't think are my fault. I think it's the player's fault. I think it's the player girlfriend's fault. I think it's everyone's fault except my own. Maybe it's even the viewer's fault. But I'll tell you this, Connor. All right, I'm ready to take my beatings for my 3-6 day, and I got my honey with me, my honey packet. Yes, you saw me probably 5 hours ago with this same honey packet. It's been with me the whole time, and I'm ready to eat this honey, and I gotta deserve it. So let's give out some winners tonight. Let's eat our chicken tenders with honey, and let's definitely petition our boy Boston Nick to stop dipping his chicken products in honey mustard.
Yes, we just want Nick to not dip that honey mustard chicken products and just smash beers, because that's what we know and love of him. He's a master artist at. Yes, we love him. We love that. It's all right. Hey, we're all gonna have these days. We're on here 5 days a week. And there we bet tons of basketball games. You, a lot more. You're a massive volume player, and especially live. So, but I love it. I love the ups and downs. It's just a grind. The good days make you feel so good. You want to come back, and the shitty days want to make you come back and do even better. That you had a bad day to give out, give here. And shout out to the chat, everyone in the chat. Want them to eat, keep winning like Max. Eat that honey. By the way, real quick before we touch on the scores of the game. Is there a favorite brand of honey? I've always wanted to ask you this out there. Is there a certain Canadian brand, or what is there? What's your honey go-to?
You know what? I do like a good ye old style packet of honey. But if I can't get one of those, because usually you only get those in jail, I like to go with the Canadian classic Kraft honey, available at all your local Popeyes establishments. And if you know someone who owns a Popeyes, connect us up.
Excellent. I'm going to run through mine. I always wanted to know that. Thank you so much. I'm sure some of the people did too. Now I know the honey that you love. Citadel, tough one, double OT. I got hit by the hook. I almost wish they didn't drain that three. So it is what it is. San Jose State, wow, what an 11-point lead, blown, and then I'm freaking out. I thought we were okay, but you never know. There's 25-3 runs, whether it's the NBA or college basketball. Furman, another one, OT, thriller, and they didn't go for the half point there, but I thought that was a game that could have gone either way. Obviously, from it, they pulled away late. And the under in the Washington, maybe a little bit high scoring early, but low, just what we thought late. It stayed under that 145. Those are my looks. Let's just touch on some of the top games. I'm just going to rip through them. Let me know if you want to touch on a game that you kind of had something in mind. Gonzaga, a big win. UCLA, a big win. The over in that hit. Long Beach State covered, though. They got the cover there. This one was big. Illinois Marquette, they lost 66-67. Kind of, a little bit of an upset there as 8-point dogs. Bowling Green got bashed by Ohio State. Ohio State maybe started to look like Ohio State. I was worried about that. That's why that was such a strong. It was a lean for me with Bowling Green, but I couldn't get there. I was worried about that, and I'm worried about that today on some of my action. That some of these better teams against these small schools. Let's just keep going through it. Denver IUPI, 63-47. That was an under. Clemson beat Bryant. No show kind of there. The defense, just none. And that's not a high-scoring Clemson team.
And that was a very surprising result considering that, you would have expected Brian to be able to get a little more 3-point action going and to zone up on Clemson a little more. I had a couple games that I really liked that I enjoyed watching. One was Sacramento State and Cal Poly. I hit Sacramento State on the money line straight up there. I enjoyed the last 3 minutes of the Providence-Wisconsin game. Other than that, I didn't watch a goddamn minute of it because it was literally put me to sleep. But that was a plus 240 money line. And, of course, Oregon State, Operation Fade the Pac-12 ATS is in full effect. 5 teams in the conference right now that have literally probably made you enough to buy 3 high-end ladies of the night. So Tulsa was a nice home dog win last night also.
You had a big winner. You mentioned it yesterday. Colorado laid the wood to Maine. This was one I kind of was mad I didn't get to talked about was Missouri. Nowhere to be found. Got their ass kicked by the Roos, 11-point favors. That would kind of hurt. I didn't bet it. Buffalo came through. That was one. They were down early, came through late. Good basketball game too. There.
Yeah, big second half comeback. Really good upperclassman play from Ronaldo Segou. And when you have that type of front court play from Jonathan Williams and Josh Mballa, you're never out of a game.
Exactly. This one was a little bit of a difficult one. San Diego and Cal. Goes to OT. Another one that's tough. 3.5 if you had them 4 and they lose by 5. That one hurt. But this one was nice, Max. North Florida, Arizona State. Not only we said take a free play, both you and me yesterday. I wish I was on it a lot more. Was North Florida to cover, but we both were on that under. I love it. You right away when you said it, I go, boom. I love it too. That was a good one. Eastern Washington, we need to touch on that. San Francisco won. You mentioned Tulsa, Providence. I want to touch on this. We got a couple more to go. Big win there in Wisconsin for Providence. Great call there, Max. Touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, listen, with Providence, I think that they just fucking came into Wisconsin. They knew that as long as they didn't lay an offensive dud and they got out to an early lead, that they were going to be able to close it out because you just don't have the game-changing score or the dominant big man to really get consistent and consecutive buckets from Wisconsin. So,
yeah, that was a good win for Providence. And we talked about it. It wasn't so much maybe the Providence defense, just Wisconsin's offense. Keeping that game, went under. You mentioned the Sac State. Utah Valley, a great win. It slid that way, scared me. They didn't even need it. It did go to OT. They win.
Yeah,
UNLV. Go ahead.
They hit a huge 3 to get to overtime. That was another live play, Conor, a plus 175 money line. Butte.
This was another one. North Dakota State, we're going to touch on them today. Played UNLV. They covered and another UNLV under. This team has won the games, but I don't think they're very good. Maybe they will be down the line. But North Dakota State gets the cover. And that was our last one. I wanted to touch on this one because you hit it. I thought the number was huge. I took them, game 1 was Idaho. So they're a little bit better. I didn't think Fresno State should be laying 24. I know you hit it. 7-point win there for Fresno. I thought that was a great call by you there.
Appreciate that, Conor. Hopefully we're going to have a bunch more of them today. So I think we should get right back into it.
Let's get it.
And
Let's get it, baby.
Hopefully I'm serving the cock soup instead of getting served the cock soup.
Yes, that's always the plan. Let's get to your first game, Max. We got Jacksonville State minus 4.5, 4 versus Troy. Totals 132. What do you got here?
Yeah, this is a spot where I'm going to be riding Jacksonville State. I think that with the combination of trio guards in Darian Adams, Jalen Finch, and Jalen Gibbs, you really have experience. You have multiple ball handlers, and you're not going to be able to be pressed or pressured into unnecessary and unforced turnovers. I think that when you look at the size that Brandon Huffman brings and his ability to get to the free throw line and hit his free throws, it gives you a lot of freaking positive feelings about laying points on the road with a in-state rival in Troy. So I think that Jacksonville State does a good job of winning from the 3-point line. I think the X factor for them will be Kane Henry tonight. And I think that they go right into Troy and they get a nice, comfortable win. I think that when Troy, Losing to Butler was definitely a nice loss for them. But the problem was they just weren't hitting threes. They weren't doing a good job of crashing the offensive glass, and their free throw rate percentage just wasn't adequate to even play a Butler team that was missing players and having bad shooting games. So I'm all over Jacksonville State, and I like the under in the game also.
Excellent. Right now, yeah, Jacksonville State's 4.5, and the full game 132.5. I liked it a little bit as well. I think that goes under. It was a little tight. I wanted a little bit higher number, but that was my lean in that ball game. Let's get to your next one, your second one. This is one I definitely want to talk about. Norfolk State. They're favored by 4.5. Gets William and Mary. Totals 139.5. What do you like here, brother?
Yeah, this line opened up at 2. So we've seen a lot of movement, and I've had to adjust what I was going to give out in this game for the show because of that. So we're going to go with Norfolk. We're going to take them on the first half, and we're going to take them at hopefully 2.5 that you can get. I think that when you look at this Norfolk State team, there are a lot of question marks when it comes to who's going to play what kind of minutes. But I do think that when you have two constants like Chris Bankston and Joe Bryant Jr., Joe Bryant has started off the season fantastic, and he's basically abandoned his three-point shot. I think that with Chris Bankston, this is a guy that's going to give you a lot of good work on the defensive glass. He's not going to turn over the ball, and he's going to give you some rim protection, which is always needed when you have such a small lineup like Norfolk does. I think Norfolk definitely is going to have some challenges if they do not deal with the ball screen action of Yuri Covington. They're not going to have enough. They're not going to have a strong layer of at the rim defense because Mikhail Harvey is not going to be in the game. I think that if you can stop Conor Kuchera and you can stop Quinn Blair, I think that you can stop William and Mary. And we've already seen two pretty good examples of that, most recently by American, who was able to stop them and shut them down from the three-point line by ways of 4 for 23. And if you can't get second chance opportunities, if you're not hitting jump shots, you're just not a team that I can get behind. So William and Mary is going to have a problem with their young backcourt going up against this experienced backcourt, and Norfolk minus 2.5 in the first half is the play for me.
Excellent. We got that down. I think they're the little bit better of the two teams here, and it's a short number, so I don't blame you. Let's get to your third one real quick. Shout out to the chat. Let's get to Arthur Mead, through a Sedono, my guy. We appreciate all your support.
Arthur, bud.
Definitely all the support he gives for us. Our guy G, Guillermo Zertucci, Preston in the house, IQJ, Big Daddy, Sharpie, our guy in there. Who else is in here? Big Show, our guy in the back. What up? Mills MMA locker room. My guy Noli knows, as Max would say, the master Jedi of the unders, for sure. Zachariah R, Jimmy Gomez, a regular that's always supports us. Let's get to it. Just want to give a shout out, Boston Nick, Vale Gotti. Thanks so much, guys. Let's get to your third one. Big game here. Big one to talk about. I love that it's on your card. Virginia versus Houston. Lines 5.5. This total's crashed 4 points, obviously, to the under with these two teams to 119.5. Shoot me with what you got here, brother.
Yeah, I think that when you look at this spot, you've been waiting all day for the line to crash to a point that it's at a nice enough number that has value, in my opinion, to back Houston. What we saw after the Hofstra game was a very angry Coach Sampson. And Coach Sampson got on his guys, and they delivered in their next game against Rice. Now they're going to be playing a completely different style of team, a team that I think has a very big offensive issue to work through, even though on paper they brought in two guys that should fit into the type of offense that they're going to run. I think with Houston, the key is going to be offensive rebounding, and that's going to fall on guys like Josh Carlton, Reggie Cheney, and Fabian White, and then now the emerging Jawan Roberts. Jawan Roberts is the X factor for this game and for this Houston team, and if the 6'7" sophomore can do work on the offensive glass like he has been and be able to contribute a little offensively, not much, because there's obviously a lot of guard play to do that work. I think that this Houston team becomes even more concrete and difficult to beat. And at home, I'm definitely looking to back them when I can get less than 2 3-point makes. So I'm all over Houston. I do lean towards the first half under 55.5. That's also a play of my boy Tones, but I'm not going to make that one official for the show's record.
Okay. So just Houston -5. Real quick, save the questions till the end. Our Q&A, we're going to rip through it. It's my favorite part of the show. Max, so good at everything he does. Real quick, from Luke Murphy, my guy Luke Murphy, astute author Luke Murphy. Do you like Norfolk full game, Max?
I like Norfolk when it was less than 3 points, but now when we've seen such a big line move, you're taking the ass end of the line, and that's why I'm trying to go first half so that I can salvage it.
Okay. Excellent. Sounds good. Let's get to your fourth one here. George Washington versus Cal Fullerton. This line's 3. Total 145. I want to hear what your look is here. This is one I haven't dug into. Hit me with it.
Yeah, this is a real interesting spot, in my opinion, for Cal Fullerton, because they're really flying under the radar, and they're going up against the George Washington team that really just is not taking good shots early on in the season. They're not really crashing the offensive glass, and they're putting their opponents on the free throw line at a very uncomfortable rate. I think that when you look at them, they should have been able to be more competitive in the game against UC San Diego. And to be quite frank, they should have been able to win that Maryland game if they were able to get a little bit of 3-point shooting. So this is a group where I think that you got a bunch of castaways that are trying to come together, and your lead dog, James Bishop, is in a absolutely brutal shooting slump. So unless Brendan Adams, the UConn transfer, and Joseph Bamseal take over like they have been and get some help from Ricky Lindo, I just don't see this game ending in a different result than what we've seen in the last 2 games. So with Cal Fullerton, I think that while most people will be like, well, this is a team that I've been fading, this is a team I've been betting against. Well, watch them closely. Check out those numbers, because even though they've lost 2 close games, they've played up to the level of their competition instead of down to it. With Vince Lee and EJ Ananowski developing this really nice 1-2 tandem in the front court, and then the emergence of sophomore Latrell Wrightsell, I just think that there's a lot of production from multiple different levels. And when you shoot 77% from the free throw line and 60% from the field as a team, I'm looking to back you. Excuse me, from inside the arc, not from the field. So,
give your final, yeah.
I'm looking to get on Cal Fullerton money line. That's a spot that I really want to jump on. It's a little bit of juice. It could be a parlay builder, but I'm not going to take the ass end of the spread. I'm going to take what I think is going to cash at a higher percentage. So,
cool. Give me 1 sec here, because I'm up on the spread. You got 130. Is it still around that range?
There's anywhere from 145 to -160. So you have to shop around for the best price.
Shop around. He's exactly right. 145 up to 160. He's right there. Let's get to the last one. North Dakota State versus Arizona. We just talked about earlier. We just saw this team with UNLV playing Arizona. Spread 16.5. Totals 140.5. Can't wait to what you got here.
Yeah, I think that this is a really bad situational spot for North Dakota State. North Dakota State last night against UNLV had a really nice option and advantage when it came to their front court tandem of Rocky Cruiser and Grant Nelson. But I think that tonight, now you're going up against an Arizona team, while maybe young, is still very talented. And I think the guys in the backcourt are really going to have to step up, like Tyree Eady and Jarius Cook. But if they can get Malik Harden-Hayes to continue to give you good, solid point guard play and solid point forward play, I think that this team can really surprise. I just don't think that in this situation, they're going to have things working in their advantage. I think that with Arizona, Tommy Lloyd is going to teach this team how to really play hard-nosed St. Mary's type defense. And I don't expect North Dakota State really to get past 65. So I think the team total for them was 62.5. I would even like that under.
Okay.
With Arizona, this is going to be a first half play. I think that they expose them with their size, and I think that guys like Justin Kier and Pele Larson and my fellow Canadian Benedict Maturin to really dominate. This is a group that can hit threes. They can beat you off from all three levels, and most importantly to me on offense, they hit 70+% of their free throws. So I like Arizona first half -9. I like the first half over 66, and I got to lean towards North Dakota State team total under 62.5.
Okay, real quick. Which one just official for the show? Did you go on Arizona 9-2? Or?
Arizona first half and the Arizona first half over.
Okay. First half and the first half over. Okay. Got it. Excellent. Shout out to our guy, Tone. It's his birthday. Everyone wish him happy birthday in the chat. Our guy, our boss, Jeff Slaughter, he's saying Cincy Purdue first half parlay plus 273. Smack it up, flip it up, rub it down. Real quick, speaking of rub, go check out our Post Sports Radio rub. Rub up your meats, throw it on your chicken, all the spices. We got it here, Post Sports Radio. We got that seasoning on that meat, baby. So speaking of rub it on there, rub it on your meat. Boom! Ding, ding, ding. 2 for 25. Rub that shit all over your meat and be satisfied. Any more real quick, Max? Just a couple you want to go through? Actually, I had a couple questions before we get into mine. Let's get to the big game. One of the big games. I'm going to touch on the other one is BYU, Oregon. The line's 4, totals 141. What do you have in this game? Hit me with it.
Yeah, this is a spot where I think that athleticism and overall scheme is going to play into the advantage of the Ducks. I think that while most teams cannot run and throw a zone at BYU, this is going to be a different kind of zone than they're used to seeing. And I do think that Dana Altman's going to have his players ready to close out on shooters and really deny any good looks of the bucket until late in the shot clock. I look at Oregon as a team that is getting used to playing with each other. I think that when you have the quality of like guys like Jacob Young and Devion Harmon and returning players like Eric Williams, it's really tough to go into that duck pond and fuck with your eyes open. So I think that the BYU basketball team, while they are talented and have some really advantageous matchups on their schedule, this isn't one of them. And I'm rocking Oregon gear because of it.
I love the Oregon gear. He's in full mode today. This guy's quacking all over Canada. It's unbelievable. I agree with you. I stayed off, though. And like you talked about, this is basically a home game. It is in Portland. They were playing in that NBA arena. So I had nothing on the total. Both play kind of slow. I mean, they both are efficient in that aspect, their offense. If BYU had more points, I might look that way, but I'm with you. Just a lean for me with Oregon, kind of this short number. If I was catching 7 or 8, I might look at BYU. If BYU is like a Duke, they're a shooting team. If they're not, and the first few games they haven't shot it well. They got by with San Diego State because San Diego State can't shoot at times. They're very good defensively, but they struggle, and they pulled away late in that game. But it should be a good one late tonight in Portland. Basically a home game, for Oregon. They'll be packed with fans there. Let me hit on a couple other ones that I wanted to touch on that were kind of in my mind that I wanted you to talk about. Miami, FAU, line 7.5, the total 160. There should be a ton of points in this one. What do you think here, Matt?
I actually do not have anything on this game. I really didn't understand the number, and I really didn't think that I wanted to lay points with Miami.
That was my thinking. My only look here, I was looking at FAU, but their defense has not looked good. They gave 99 to New Mexico. That kept me back walking. It's from this one. I wanted nothing to do with it, but I just wanted your opinion on it. Another one I want to talk about was Lehigh, Monmouth. Monmouth, 9-point favorites. I like what Lehigh did, against Providence. Is it maybe just a one game? They played well. I think I like Monmouth, but I think this might be too many points. What do you like here?
Yeah, I got to disagree there. When I saw the opener at 6.5, I was like, this is a spot that Monmouth can really take advantage of because what they have now is one of probably the best ball handling dynamic backcourts in the Metro Atlantic in Shavar Reynolds and George Pappas. Pappas is a dangerous three-point shooter. Shavar Reynolds is a dangerous guy slashing and getting to the rim and hits his free throws. Both of them hit their free throws. So with Monmouth, it doesn't matter if you're in the lead late. You don't have to worry about freaking blowing your spreads because of free throws. I just think that this is a game where they win 10 plus.
Okay, that's keeping me off it. See, initially, like you said, the 6.5, but when I saw it creep to 9, that makes me look the other side with that line movement just a little bit. I didn't know if Monmouth could win by 10 there. That was it. I also wanted to touch on, what did you think of this Denver UTSA? I wanted to talk about the total. It was 139. Do you have anything there?
Yeah, it's just crazy where this total was. I feel like I was asleep at the wheel when this line got posted because I would have been all over that under 147. I had to wait and got the ass end of the line, if I'm being brutally honest, and I got 141.5. So I'm hoping that this game doesn't get past 120, which is what I thought that we could expect. I think that Denver, while they may have been the better team yesterday, I think that they may have a little more difficulty scoring the basketball today.
Excellent. We'll give a shout out to a few people here. I wanted to mention, how would you feel about FAU team total over? Real quick.
I think that if you're going to get into a track meet, that's definitely the one that you want to take. And in a track meet, there is value with taking the underdog's team total over.
Okay. Excellent. I love it, Max. Well, I touched on those. I'm going to rip through mine, and let's get to the rest of these games I want to get to them. We kind of got a big, full card here. This one, a rematch. 1989. I was a young kid then. Seton Hall, Michigan. This is at the Chrysler Center. Michigan, I talked to Max last night because, late night when the lines come out. I thought 9 was too much here. And the total is 137.5. I lean to the over. I almost want to double up here. I want to talk to you a little about it, what you thought. Michigan, obviously, they're stacked. Dickinson in the middle. Houston's been all what he's about to, as this incoming freshman. They have Ken Palm has them 5th, offensive, defense, their proficiency. But I don't know. Buffalo scored some points on them. And Seton Hall's looked good early, but they've shot it really, really well. I think they shot at 44% from 3. It's like 15th in NCAA so far. Only 2 games in, so we can't go crazy on that. And there could be a bad shooting night. I thought this was too many points. I get they're on their home floor, but 9 with Seton Hall, it's still at 8.5. I endorse it. So anyone, if you're getting 8.5, I worried about the total a little bit, that this could slow down and get into a little bit of a dogfight maybe in the second half, and this could slip under. But I think it's a little light, and it has come down. This came down a point and a half. I like Michigan. I think they'll have stuff inside, but I think Seton Hall's guards will play all right. I think they'll hit shots. I'm a little high on Seton Hall, I guess. Maybe I'm on drugs or something. But I'm going to take the 9 points here, and I almost want to take this total over 137.5. What do you like here?
I agree with you to the total, because the more I broke down the game and broke down the numbers that I could rely on, I'm starting to realize that this is becoming more and more like the Seton Hall team of last year. Really experienced guard play, developing big men before your eyes, and a very under-the-radar transfer in Alexis Yetna that did all but just double work every day. And now he comes over to frickin' Seton Hall, and he's doing it for them. I didn't think that Bryce Aiken was going to find his way, but he is finding his way. It does help when he does get to play against Yale. So
yeah, that's true.
I agree with you on the spread. Personally, I think Michigan always has value first half. That's the play that I made. But I can fully expect some really good halftime adjustments, and I can see this Seton Hall team coming back, because Kevin Willard, he's not no joke of a coach in the Big East. As much as I dislike Seton Hall, I have to be freaking truthful about that. So,
one thing with him though, I think as a coach he's okay, but I think they the expectations in some of these teams have been, and they've come out flat, in certain years. But he's always bringing guys, and they always, since he's been there and played really, really well. And I think 9's too many. I hope so in this ball game. Give a couple shout outs to our chat. My guy, Nicky, Boston Nick with the 369 to the window, to the wall. Hashtag beat the bookies. Love you, man. Spencer Penny G, my guy. Nilo, Jermaine McCoy, Bill McDonald, everybody in here. Shout out. Rude Jude, CT Bays, our guy also. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, the whistle. Check us out. We love it. This is my next one, Max. This is Hofstra, Iona. I have a feeling you're might like Iona here. I'm on the other side that this has moved. Initially at 4, I mentioned it last night. Max was dead silent to me. So, but now this has moved to 6.5. I think it's too many points. Hofstra's played well. Maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, against Houston. And then they beat down Duquesne, right? That was their second game?
Yeah, it was.
I believe. Yeah, they beat them up pretty good. They've shot the ball well. They have decent guards. Iona struggled in that OT win. I know they're good. They went on their winning streak. Rick Pitino, the whole thing. Nelly, is really good. Jolly's good. I think there'll be points here. To me, by the way, the total's 146. I think this could get over as well. But I'm taking the points with Hofstra here, plus 6.5. Tell me what you like. Tell me you're on the other side, baby.
I'm sorry. As much as you want me to be backing my boy Patino, we do enjoy a freaking local or an out-of-town stripper, and we can afford to pay for it also. But I'm not rocking with Iona tonight. I'm rocking with Hofstra. They may possibly be getting Jalen Ray back from his ankle injury, Connor. And listen, I don't even know if they need him because Zach Cooks, he is back. He is fucking come to the CAA. He's like, bye, Highlanders. It was a nice 4 years. You gave me nothing. Now I'm going to go give Hofstra everything. And I'm loving it because this is a guy that fucking is just dynamite from 3. He's hot early. He's hot fucking driving in. And everybody that didn't play last year, like Iola, like Estrada, they are coming in like a force, like a thunder, like a fucking dude out of prison into a whorehouse, and they are getting it fucking done. I'm telling you, Hofstra money line is value tonight. So I bet it at 5. I don't give a shit. I'll bet it again at 7.5. I like Hofstra a lot. Hopefully they like me enough and like you enough and like Pub Sports Radio enough to get us that bag of cash.
I love it. Yeah, so they can score at will. So can Richmond, but they got beat up. I wish I was on Utah State the other day. And that was when I was kicking myself. They're not very good defensively. I think Richmond can score, but too many points. I mean, Iona. Sorry, I'm getting to that game. This guy's got me in the head with Richmond. Let's get to my third game. Tarleton, Wichita State. This is my shortest one. Just take the under, 127.5. These teams are so slow. They can't score. Thank me later. If I lose it, I'll eat crow, and you can talk shit about me all day tomorrow. Let's get to my next one. Sorry, my last one's Georgetown State, Richmond. Let's just get to my fourth. This could be an ugly one. I'm a little bit scared here. American, plus 13.5 at Georgetown. Totals 139.5. Georgetown, wow. They lost to Dartmouth by 9. They're a team kind of like Missouri, Max. Bunch of guys out, bunch of new guys in. No chemistry. Can they be better down the line during the year? I think so, but I want to catch them like we talked about last night, how we're making money, up to Pac-12, all those shitty teams. I think this is a shitty team here in Georgetown. I think they, like I said, can be better down the stretch. American, their problem is they struggle to score at times. They got to hit their shots. These teams like we take Moorhead and these other teams, they got to hit their free throws. They got to hit some threes. They're not athletic like Georgetown, but I'm taking the 13.5, plugging my nose and taking American here. What do you think?
Well, I think that Connor, that in some circles, people refer to me as the Patriot League governor.
You are? I know.
I don't think that I got that name genuinely. I think that I had to drill it into people's head and be like, I'm not answering to anything except the Patriot League governor. I won't answer to Maxwell Smart. I won't answer to Jay Rubenstein. I won't answer to nothing except the Patriot League governor. And the Patriot League governor says, Connor, American is a good pick. And you nailed it right on the head. That's the key to American. Play and hit jump shots. Do not fall in love with the three. The closer to the rim that you shoot, the better your percentages are. And let's try and hide that fucking dirty blemish, which is like a wart on the middle of your forehead, 65% from the free throw line. So I think that if Stacey Beckton Jr. and Elijah Stevens can make free throws, it will cover up Josh Alexander and his putrid free throw shooting, and we can backdoor cover this game. If not, better than that.
Love it. Love it from the governor. Ramos, real quick. Yeah, I like a few others. We talked about Denver, UTSA, and I'm also looking at the Tarleton game. Arlington, game. I like the under in that a little bit. Let's get to my last one. I'm reading all your comments. I got in this Georgia State game. They can fill the bucket. Take the 7.5 against Richmond. They can score. This is going to go back and forth, and it's too many points. Richmond just is overvalued here. But I said they will score too. I mean, Richmond's a solid basketball team. But Georgia State can fill the bucket. I love it. And I'll be short. Take the money. They go into the Robins Center and cover the 7.5. Georgia State. Book it. What do you think, Max?
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly. I got it at 6. I'm going to have to bet that shit again also. Richmond's a really nice team on paper. They don't have the depth. They definitely can be beat. But if they can't stop you, they can't cover more than 2 3-point buckets. So I don't want to be the square that takes that big home favorite every time. So I do agree with Georgia State. And I think that when you look at that quartet of scoring guards that they have, all you need is Jalen Thomas to give you some rim protection, some rebounding, and they could fuck you right in the mouth. Hot shots, back of the throat, Skittle styles.
Throat shot. I think Allen, Roberts, this is just a good one and too many points to me. Like, this is just value. I think this should be a 3-point game. And we're getting 7.5. So grab it. I'm going to grab the points in this one. That was my last one. Everyone, get your questions in. We want to rip through the rest of this card as fast as we can. Tell us your leans, your likes, over-unders. We're going to hit an ad from our sponsors. Let's get to the commercial, baby. Go to Southtown 101. If you're in the San Antonio area, get there, go there. Booze, great food, karaoke. Get there. Pub Sports Radio, Southtown 101. Be there. And go to manscaped.com. 20% off. Promo code Pub Sports. Keep them clean. Keep the nether region clean down there. No one wants a bush. You don't want to have one. Your lady doesn't like it. It's no good. No bueno, baby. So go to manscaped.com. 20% off. Promo code Pub Sports. Let's get to the questions. Keep shooting them out, guys. We got a full card, full games. I want to give our first one, though, to my guy, Arthur Mead. Shot me this. Guy gives us dono. He's a man. He wants to talk about Austin P. Plus 7.5 against IUPI. Totals 149, 148.5. I like the points a little bit here. I'm not loving IUPI. What do you think, Max?
Yeah, before we start, let's just make sure that we are not calling them IPFW anymore. They are Purdue Fort Wayne. And with Purdue Fort Wayne, I think that this is a group that has a fantastic group of guards, whether it be Godfrey, whether it be Billups, and now they add Damian Chong-Kui, Bobby Plantis, the St. Bonaventure transfer. He keeps it all together and greasy and sticky like a trailer park boy in the middle. And I think that when you look at it, this is a spot where I think that they do have the advantage. And I have to look at them minus the 7.5 versus the Austin P team, who is learning to play again without Terry Taylor, Jordan Adams, Reginald G, guys who have been with the program, and they've been dependent on those guys for a while. So Austin P is still a work in progress. I like them better at home than I do on the road.
Okay, yeah, that's a stay off for me. I wasn't going to really bet it anyways. What do you think of Creighton? This is a good one. We talked about you're a little bit higher. If this is probably Nebraska to beat Creighton, this is the worst Creighton team in a few years, I think. Maybe the best Nebraska team. They're favored by 3.5. Can Nebraska cover this number tonight, Max?
Listen, I think that Nebraska's winning this game. Like you said, this is their one shot, because I can tell you after the drama with Coach McDermott in the summertime, they will get 4- and 5-star recruits back at that program. And I think that with Alonzo Verge sometimes showing some of that old Arizona State behavior, we got to rein that motherfucker in, because they don't need another Teddy Allen. They need a team player. And I think that for Nebraska tonight, I hope that they have the services of Kobe Webster, because when you have Kobe Webster in the lineup, you have a very solid sound point guard who can give you offense. And that's what they're going to need. Nebraska's going to have to score. I don't really know about this Creighton team. I've watched both of their games. They don't shoot the three. They don't have the ball movement like we're used to seeing. And they don't have the dominant inside play, which is nice and fast. Like Christian Bishop is sorely missed. And I think that Nebraska is able to get it done.
Yeah, I think too. I know the totals there. There could be points in that one.
I'll just point out, Connor, Bryce McGowan's probably one of the most explosive scorers in the league right now, even though it's only a couple games.
Yeah.
So he's a freshman phenom. He's a fucking freshman phenom.
Let's get to our Mills. He wants to know about St. Louis, Memphis. This is one I definitely wanted to touch on. Spread was 11.5, 12. Memphis. What did you like here?
Yeah, I'm using Memphis in a teaser. I am definitely a little shook by the number. I do think, though, if they are going to play dominant, physical, non-turnover basketball like they have been, it's going to look good. I've been impressed with Imani Bates and Jalen Duran, but if Lester Quiones holds all that shit together, I do think that Memphis is not going to take minutes off our life watching and betting on them tonight.
All right, how about this one? A little obscure here. Central Connecticut State versus North Carolina State. Did you have anything here? It spreads 26.5. They wanted to know the total, the 141.5, Max.
Yeah, I think that this is an over spot because we have a new Central Connecticut State regime and Patrick Sellers has taken over this program. And while I'll say that they don't have the talent to really dominate, we did see them get out to a nice lead against Brown. They obviously folded like a lawn chair in the second half, but I think that this is a similar game to the Connecticut one where they give up a bunch of points, and I think that they just get more points than they're able to in this one. Let's remember, North Carolina State is not going to have Manny Bates. They're going to be a lot more perimeter-oriented, a lot of ball screen action, and I think that Central Connecticut State may get off lucky not having to deal with such a force inside.
Yeah, no Bates. That's a big deal. How about Alabama, A&M versus Cincinnati, minus 22.5, total 131.5.
Yeah, I think that with South Alabama, it was a really nice win against Wichita State, but now you're going up against a very different schematic team compared to what you just went up against. And I just don't know if South Alabama really has the horses to fuck with their eyes open. Javon Franklin's done a fantastic job coming over from Auburn and averaging like 15. I think it's like 15 and 10. I'd have to be someone have to check that for me. But what you're not getting is really good shooting from Charles Manning and JJ Chandler. You need more from them. So when you're missing guys from this lineup like Greg Parham, you got to fucking account for that. You don't have Lance Thomas. You don't have your full onslaught of fucking guys that Richie Riley can fucking run out there. The one thing that I'll say, Richie Riley is one of the best underdog ATS coaches in the Sun Belt. So take that for what you will. If you're taking South Alabama now, you're getting the worst of the number. And if you're taking Alabama, you're taking chances by really hoping that they can shoot over the South Alabama 3-point defense.
South Carolina State versus Georgia. Georgia's laying 22, total 145.5.
Yeah, I think that with Georgia, it's a spot where I want to look at them first half. That's a number I feel comfortable laying with them. I want to see how the game flow is going before I get involved full game, and that's the beautiful thing about live betting. You always have an opportunity to get in on something you feel you missed out on. And with Georgia, they played really well against Cincinnati. I was very surprised, but when you have the kind of senior leadership from Braylon Bridges and Jalen Ingram that you're seeing on the floor, all you need is your guy Aaron Cook to go off. This is a team that I worry about covering big spreads because of their free throw shooting issues, but they are a very sound three-level scoring team otherwise. And against this level of competition, they should be able to win and push that number over 146.5, because if you watch South Carolina State on the weekend, the team goes fast, and they could be down 30, and they'll play like it's a tie game. So,
okay, how about this one? USC first half -7 from Slaughter. What do you think here?
Hey, listen, I hope he cashes it, but I'm on Florida Gulf Coast, so I'll just put it like that.
Yeah, that one was interesting to me. I'm staying off that game. I got to see more from SC right now, so that one's kind of a wait and see. Even if I can't watch it, I want to check the box score, everything with that in that game. What about Duke first half? Let's go full game. I know full game's around 19.5. Obviously, there are rests that happen in that program. Do you think it bothers anything? I'm staying away from the game. Are you on this one tonight at all?
I already got Duke earlier, so I'm just going to let it ride out, and I'm just going to see what I can do live. For all we know, Duke ends up fucking with their eyes open and plays well without Paolo, if he plays at all. And if he plays, it's even more reason to take Duke at this lower number. So remember, this is the farewell tour for Coach K. They're not going to take it easy on teams if they can avoid taking it easy on teams.
Let's get a question with this one, kind of the full game. Noli, our guy, Purdue over? Question mark. It's 152.5. Wright State, Purdue, and it's 16.5 to spread. Anything here?
Well, listen, I already know that he's chirping me because I know what he likes in the game.
I know.
So settle the fuck down.
I know he's fucking.
You don't even like the under in the game. The one game on the board, he doesn't like an under.
Crazy.
No, I disagree with you, Noli. I'm hoping that Purdue shuts down Wright State and Grant Basile does not put up 35 points against the star front court center of Zach Edey from Toronto, Ontario, Canada at 7'4".
Super Canadian.
Super Canadian. It's in the water, bro. We didn't get that water stolen by California.
Noli. Yeah. New Orleans at Northwestern. Arthur Meade wants to know, Max.
Listen, I think that with New Orleans, you missed the best of the number at 24.5 or 24. That was the way to go. This New Orleans team definitely has some different offensive weapons. The question is, can they score anywhere except inside the rim? And that's what we're going to see tonight. I think that with New Orleans against Northwestern, I don't really like Northwestern. I don't know. Maybe the people there are too smart. But I think that my fellow Canadian Daniel Saki from Winnipeg, freaking Manitoba, is going to come in and support Derek St. Hilaire, who I thought was Canadian, but just isn't. It's okay. You can be one if you want to be. All right.
Honorary Canadian.
Yeah, but this is all a New Orleans backdoor cover type spot. Let's just hope that they have some goat cheese in their salad today and they come ready to play.
Excellent. Shout out everyone in the chat. Shout out. Keep the questions rolling. We got just about 5 minutes left. I have just a couple questions too here for you, Max. Make sure, just when you any other questions you ask, just put the side and the total when you guys throw it in the chat. That'll just help us out. We're running through this real quick chat here. This is one I wanted to talk about, was Yale Siena. A little off the board. What do you think here, Max? Yale Siena.
Yeah, for me, Connor, nothing's off the board. It's all on
No, I
the
know.
board, baby. And I'll tell you, I'm not impressed by Siena. Don't get me wrong. I don't like Ivy League schools. I think that there's some pretentious SOBs. But this is a spot where you're coming off a game against Seton Hall that you got literally destroyed. And now you're playing a defense and you're going to be able to score against an offense on the level of Siena. So I think that it's a short number with Yale. If you're not in love with taking road favorites, you know, I thought that the under still had value at 137. So this is a game where I like under. I like Yale. I'm not buying the Siena Kool-Aid, and I'm throwing that shit right in the garbage.
I love you went through that. You know, this just moved down a point, but Yale's favored by 3.5, total 137. I thought it was an interesting one on the board. Let's get to Max. Remos wants to know, do you agree with my Wichita under 127.5?
Listen, I think that the danger in taking numbers like this are that one significant scoring run takes us out of the freaking money. But I just think that with Tarleton State, you know, this is a team that presses so much, doesn't really have that smooth offensive weapon. They really have to hustle and bustle to get their points. So I think that this is going to be a rock fight. We may not see 110 points in this game.
I think so too. I mean, if the team gets to 60, that would be it. I think it'd be Wichita, but that'd be it here. We'll get to it. Favorite dog. What's your favorite dog today, Max?
Favorite dog. Let me see of the dogs that I bet. That's the easiest way to determine that one. Texas Corpus Christi isn't a dog anymore, so cancel that out. Bear with me, Connor, as I scroll through my
I'll give mine.
Betting page. There, perfect.
I will give mine real quick. Obviously, I'm on a shitload of dogs. Take them walking the dog. Georgia State, 7.5. I like the Hofstra one a little bit as well, but I think Georgia State can score with Richmond. I don't see them winning by 10. So give me Georgia State. That's my top dog of the day. For you, Max?
All right. If you're going to take Georgia State, which is one I was considering, I'll take Hofstra. All right. And I'll take Hofstra first half money line. That's what I think is also valuable to me.
Yeah, I love Max has said that. Think about that. It depends how your bankroll is and everything. But, you know, when we say some of these dogs that are, let's say, 3 to 8 to 10, and you put a little money line, whether that's 80-20, you know, not over that's 50-50, whatever you want to do, I think it's worth a little bit when he says it, or maybe I bring it up, and taking some of these dogs, not only to cover, but maybe to win outright in this one. Slaughter wants to know, Houston, first half, -2.5.
Hey, I like it. I think it's going to be a wire-to-wire win. If Coach Sampson gets his team, rips his team a new one for how they played against Hofstra, how do you think he's not going to have them prepared for Virginia coming to Texas? Those guys are eating freaking, I don't even know, old steak. They're not eating good steak. Let's get those Cougars some good steak.
Chewing on that old shitty steak. And they need to get that Pub Sports Radio rub on their steak. Be real good.
Listen, send some of that to Canada. I'll definitely put it to use.
Bill McDonald, keep riding. IUPI Fort Wayne unders is what he wants to know.
Hey, listen, I think that with IUPUI specifically, that's a team that's going to struggle to score all year. It's just a matter of can we cash enough of them before the odds makers catch up to it. So that's the beauty of college basketball. Not always a lot of time for them to do so. And speaking of betting, I think that I'm close to hitting my first winner of the day. Oklahoma State, UMass Lowell, first half under 63.5. And if I can count correctly, Connor, we got 62 points and no time left on the clock.
Winner, baby. Winner.
Chicken
dinner. Love it. We got a few more minutes here. Give us your last ones before we bounce out of here and have a huge winning day. I hope so. We're going to bring it in. Our guy Arthur, Chattanooga versus Tennessee Tech. Tech -13. Big number here.
Yeah, this is a spot where I just think that it's not big enough. I love
Really?
Chattanooga. I love the
Yeah.
fact that they can
Okay.
bring AJ Caldwell off the bench. And I think that they go and fuck with their eyes open. It's under City, baby. Let's go for under 100 points total.
Under in that game as well. Cool. We touched on this, Wyatt, but yeah. Miami, Florida Atlantic. Max actually didn't have a play on this one. I think there's going to be points. The total's through the roof. New Mexico scored 99. I don't know. I just can't trust Miami. It would be FAU with the points or pass, and I'd only lean over. Someone mentioned team total over.
You know what I gotta mention? Shout out to my
Yes.
guy Trey Day. He is the father of the next star wide receiver for hopefully SMU, maybe Oklahoma. The kid is a fucking player. Thank you, Trey, for the dono, and thank God for what you do for the world, creating athletes like Trey Jr. God damn.
Crazy. Yes. He's going to kill it on the college scene. He's got a unreal, his son. He's got an athlete there. Trey, great guy, too. Unbelievable guy. Good friend of ours. We went over Seton Hall, Michigan. Raymond, I am on Seton Hall, and I lean over. I have not bet the over. I'm still giving the old hem-ha on the over, but I took the 9. I think it's good at 8.5. I think it's going to be close. Michigan could always win by 12. I think Seton Hall has the athletes, has the players to stay with them. So I'm on Seton Hall in that game. This was one. Rutgers, we haven't touched on. I believe they're favored by 22. You want to go on that game, Max? You're playing?
Yeah, Rutgers.
New Jersey Tech.
Yeah. NGIT and Rutgers, that's a 18.5 or 19-point spread, a 129.5 or 130 total. I think it's under City. I think that NGIT, if they're going to stay in this game, they are going to keep it. They're going to keep this game under and keep it close. If they're going to get blown out, it's still going to stay under. So I like unders. I think you guys know that by now. But you know what? I do think NGIT coming off a really nice 7.5-point underdog outright winner against Lehigh. I think that they take a step up in class, and it's a little different result tonight.
Slaughter wants to know, will Purdue cover that 16? Can they cover? He thinks Roland wants a Max stamp of approval, baby.
I think that
you gonna stamp it?
I would stamp it, but I stamp it first half, and
first half, okay.
Split that deal up. Have a little freaking bit of wiggle room if it doesn't work out. That's how I'm looking at that game, because Wright State's tough. I just don't think they're as tough as they were last year without Jalen Hall and Ludin Love.
Yeah, okay. I love it. That's going to be it for us. Now throws out one last thing. I want to give it one last question. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to review our games just real quick. Someone gave a shout out to Best Bet. For these games that I'm taking, they're all the same. I love them the same. So you make up your mind. I went through our best dog. My best dog was Georgia State. 7.5. Max was Hofstra. But I like all these games. So that's my best bet for now. Let's get to it. Let's wrap up. Let's get to your real quick. Let's just run through your games again so everyone gets it again. If you missed us in the beginning, you get what Max is on. So shoot, give us your load.
All right, Conor, I'm on Jacksonville State -4 full game, under 132.5 full game. I'm on Norfolk State first half -2.5. I'm on Houston -5 full game. I'm on Cal Fullerton money line. You can only get between 145 and 160. You're gonna have to line shop for the best price there if you're tailing. Arizona first half -9, first half over 66. Fucking with your eyes open, eating those cupcakes, supporting local strippers the way God put me on this plan to do so.
Well said. Ash. We be pubbing. Don't ask, don't tell. Shout out. Eat some food. Hashtag we be pubbing. We appreciate it. Let me rip through mine here real quick. Seton Hall. I took the 9. We're still good at 8.5. I think we're okay here. I will tweet out if I'm going to take this over 137.5. I don't know if I'm going to get there in the game. Hofstra +6.5 versus Iona. Just too many points. I'm shocked how well. I think Hofstra was pretty good. And I think this has gone the line's gone the other way. I think you'll be like a Furman. It was tight the whole way. Yeah, they pulled ahead and won by 6. We still covered. So I think that game could be similar. Tarleton, Wichita State under 127.5. Snorefest under. If it goes over, rip me, like I said. Tomorrow, American plus 13.5 versus Georgetown. This is my plug my nose dog. I hoping they can get there. The guards, they could shoot it well from three, the free throw line. After seeing Georgetown, it's going to take a while. Losing to Dartmouth by 9. I think American's a little bit better than Dartmouth, catching 13.5 here. And my last one, dog of the day, dog eat dog world, Georgia State plus 7.5 versus Richmond. I think we see points. I lean over. I know there's a lot of points at 149. I don't know if it gets there. It's just a lean. But I think this game's easily in the 70s. Both teams scored, no defense. And that's it. Let's get to the winners. Let's cash. Shout out to the chat. We appreciate all you. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, retweet all our shit. We appreciate you so much. Thank you. Cash it. Let's get to it. That's it, baby. Tuesday's in the wrap, Max. We're done. We're about to go all night. Cash, cash, cash. You're going to eat that honey all night long with your chicken tenders and have a cupcake right after that meal, baby. I love it. So this is it. He's Maxwell Smart. I'm Conor Mack. This is NCAA Net Profit, baby. We be pumping!
Where's the bang bang, Preston? Come on.
I can't breathe.
Pub Sports Radio. Come find us in Southtown 101. Subscribe on YouTube and all platforms where podcasts are found.